All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I think we are live and good to go. Excellent connection. Let's really hope and pray to baby Jesus himself that we don't have any latency issues today or just internet issues. That was really rough yesterday, so let's hope for the best. Usually it's fine, but this week I've noticed twice we've had some issues with the live stream, especially yesterday. But anyway, today's Friday, last day of the trading week. It is the 27th of December. So the last full week of December too, of the year 2019. So it's going to get intense. Right now it's 3:17 local time or 9:17 Eastern Standard Time. We got, 13 more minutes till the market opens. So let's get ready. Let's dive into the morning watch list. Also, FAQs in the video description below if you guys have any questions. And yeah, let's dive into the watch list. We got PT on our watch list, XRF VRNA, SAVA, and I just put FCell on it because it's making some pretty big moves. So I want to talk about that one a little bit as well. We got plenty of time though, no need to rush. So, let's just be relaxed. Yesterday, I think we rushed maybe one of the trades. I don't know. I think yesterday was somehow like a good trading day. We just had really bad execution. Yeah. So let's dive into it. I guess I'll start with PT because PT has been kind of on my watch list the longest, and it's the #1 pick for today. 46 million market cap, 18 million float. It's a Chinese wireless communications company. It's gapping up 65%. They got a really big corporation deal, so kind of a contract deal. So big contract news. There's a lot of resistance at $2 earlier pre-market, and we totally broke out of that. So let me go to my day trading chart and show you guys what it looks like. Yeah, this breakout was pretty insane. I was watching it all pre-market, starting around 7:30. We had this nice little pullback here, and right here I was like, okay, if it dips a little further, I wouldn't mind buying it at maybe 1.5, 1.6. And then ever since then, it was really rallying. I didn't want to touch this thing in pre-market though. Still kind of pause off with pre-market after we had that interesting week 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, this thing rallied really hard. Now around 280, it's seeing some big resistance. Let's see. I think this might have a little bit of a pullback before it continues to rally. But who really knows? I don't know. This thing could also shoot up. Let's just zoom in for the long-term chart very quickly. 1.7, some major support, and that's kind of where I was looking to buy. We broke out of that and we ran all the way up here. So right now the price is around this 2.6 area, a little below that. So I mean, this whole area was just a running field. So between 2.75 and 3.35, there's going to be some more resistance, and then we have that big 180-day moving average kind of coming in from the top. So let's see if we can kind of continue some upward momentum. But I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little pullback first. Good morning. Hello. XRF, next one we're looking at. 27 million market cap, 4.5 million float. Again, a Chinese company, credit service. So this one's pretty interesting. Now this one's partnering up with the mobile company, and they are basically allowing these mobile companies to add financial services to their plan. So this is a huge contract winner of XRF, and that's why it was rallying so hard yesterday. I didn't trade it yesterday because I don't know. I didn't really feel totally comfortable with it. It was on my watch list, and it was shouted out in the chat room. So I didn't really know what was going on with this one. I do like, the tiny market cap and the shares outstanding. I mean, this thing could really run super hard. So let's see what happens with this one. I don't know. I think it's a little bit overextended and it did not hold its highs very well. So this could be a pretty heavy crash today. At least a pullback. I have an alert here around $3. Their long-term chart is looking a little rough too, I might add. So yeah, I mean, a lot of failed spikes to the upside, and I'm going to be a little cautious today on this one. I don't really think we're going to be trading it. One second, let's see what we got here. So then we have VRNA, 86 million market cap, 4 million float, a UK biotech. This one's gapping up 30%. Although the big news, I haven't really found any big news from it. You know, there's some insider option contract restructuring. The big run was yesterday from 4.5 to 7. And then, you know, pre-market, it's gapping up again. But I don't know how I feel about the news. I haven't really seen news like this and then such a heavy runner. So I don't know. I think I'm also, you know, kind of pause off today. I think just in general, you know, this week, I want to be a little bit more cautious, and that served us super well. If we were just even more cautious yesterday, we could have had a green day, honestly, or just not traded at all, since nothing was really rallying like I felt comfortable with. So you can never go wrong with just not trading. You'll miss some opportunities, but that's totally fine. You'll learn from those opportunities, and they won't cost you anything. So let's see. And then the other one, FCell, let's just quit. And actually, I want to talk about SAVA as well, because this one was gapping down really, really hard not too long ago. You can see on their long-term chart, big rally to the upside. I mean, this was quite insane of a move. And now, you know, yesterday had its first big red day, big crack momentum. I don't know, today could be another crack. I have a alert here to see if it keeps dipping down. I think a maybe buy at the 3s or even lower, especially at the $2, could be a great you know, crash or panic buy. And then we have FCell as well. Now this one, I haven't really done much research into it. It's a USA industrial electronic equipment company, 190 million market cap, 170 shares float, so 170 million shares float. That's a pretty high float, but right now it's breaking out of that big resistance area at about a little under $1, so about 0.75, and now it's just, you know, it's really, really running. It has a new project that began some commercial operations, has sustainability goals, that's always good to hear. There's a lot of news about it. If on FinViz, let me see if can you guys see this? It's just the news. Check out the news stream for this. This is just flying. There's so much news about it. Kind of just watching that for a little bit. Let's see what happens. This news, when did that come out? It was about 7 a.m. today. It was really calm until about like 8:30 is when everything. Okay, so 8:30 is when the article came out. That's exactly when the Tulare project begins commercial operations. So this has got to have some substance behind it. People are buying this like crazy. Up 28% already. Yeah, I think this general breakout here is going to be really, really healthy. So I want to watch this one super closely. Let's see if we have a bit of a pullback on this one. So I think most of my attention is going to be on PT and then FCell as well. Really don't want to have another internet crash today. It's a little... Okay, guys, we're back live. I am super sorry about that. You know, I have no idea why we're constantly having issues. I don't know if it's my XSplit account or what's going on. It's bothering me just as much as it's bothering you guys. I'm going to try to figure out that a little bit more this weekend. I don't necessarily think it's my internet, at least with the streaming provider. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that. Again, guys, I apologize. It's super annoying. I don't even know what you guys missed. I just went over the whole entire watch list. That's so annoying. I'm so sorry. Really stressful. Well, another reason to be even more calm today with trading. Again, guys, I apologize for that. That's really annoying. We got 2 more minutes till the market opens. It also means the rendering is going to be annoying on this video. Just super, super ridiculous. I think I might have to change the latency or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on there. All right, guys. Well, what I was saying is my focus is going to be on PT and FSell. The other ones, you know, I would look for more of a dip buy or something like that, or a big panic. I'm not super stoked about any of the other ones specifically. I think they all are potentially overextended. I don't know. There's a lot to recap quickly. I don't know where to cut off, but yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to be trading XRF VRNA or SAVA, but I'm going to be definitely focused on PT and FSell. All right, here we go. So I actually have a limit order already on PT at $2, 700 shares. I don't know if we're gonna get that one. It was a bit more referencey. So we'll see what happens. "30 seconds till the market opens. Here we go. "18 seconds, here we go. Oh, let the selling begin. I'm looking at the watch list, just seeing what's, you know, the biggest runner. PT up 100%, really like that. VRNA up 30%, also looks really good. FSell up 20%. I got FSell on my other screen. We got the 5-minute chart down here, and we got the daily chart over here. FSell and PT are both pulling back. They're both seemingly a bit overextended potentially. All right, here we go. PT is still pulling back even harder. VRNA just had a huge rally. Look at this one. Big move to the upside. So that was a 16% move, super aggressive. If we want an entry here, I would probably look for something around 9.8, maybe $10. Around 1,100 shares. Oh, did I say 1,100? I meant 110 shares. PT pulling back a little bit, just like FCEL. FCEL is kind of starting to break to new highs now. Let's see if we can get a pullback on one of these. FCEL is really rallying. Got to be careful with FCEL just because that order book is really, it's got a lot of, it's had that same issue as yesterday, a lot of decimal places that we couldn't trade. VRNA having that first really nice pullback. Here we go on a long term, you guys can kind of see it's using this high 11 area for some major support. Five minutes into the market open now. Just going to remove my PT order just so I don't have to think about it. A lot of selling volume on this one, got to watch out. I really like VRNA, so far so good. I'm not feeling super confident. Also, you know, that live stream issue just kind of put me off guard like at the last moment. Let's see what happens. You know, I'm not going to rush anything for sure. I'm just going to focus on the basics here. Really nice breakout with VRNA. Looking on their 5 minute, seeing if we could find some a little bit longer term kind of entry here. A lot of buying, looking good. All right. Let's see what happens here. VRNA looking like it could do another breakout. I don't think I'm gonna be getting aggressive on this one, but I'm just gonna kind of watch it here. 10.5 looks like it could be some major support. PT trying to break to the upside at 2.5. It looks like it's just getting the crack right now. You can see it here. Strong sell-off in the beginning though, making me a little uneasy about it. I would rather see a big breakout of this one past 2.8, maybe past even 3, and then buy on a pullback. But that bounce off of 2.2 to where it is now, it's a 22% bounce, really heavy bounce. Here we go, VRNA, looks like it's gonna break out from here. VRNA, new high of day. FCell selling off quite a bit. VRNA and PT both selling off. Looking like they both want to do a nice little pullback. Maybe find some support. Again, we are green on the week, and that is really because the beginning of the week, I was just extremely chilled. Yesterday, I didn't really feel anything, and even my trades, I didn't have that great gut feeling that, this could be a good trade. I feel like maybe I rushed into some of the trades a little too quickly. So I think today, we'll see. Calm and collected. See what we get. Just got to enjoy the moment. Deep breaths. Hit the like button every now and then. TTPH looking good on the chart. All right, Andrew, let's check it out. Let's see what you're looking at. 12 million market cap, 3 million shares outstanding, $2.2 million volume, up around 9%. Yeah, pulling back here, 5-minute pullback. It's actually a really nice looking pullback. This could really rally. Had a recent reverse split. 120, that's a really heavy reverse split. Interesting pick. Not sure if it has any news or anything like that. Let me know if you're watching any sort of news article or why it got on your scanner. PT just had a massive old dip here. VRNA also had a bit of a pullback. That PT dip and bounce in like about a minute was a 12% bounce and pullback. Woo-hoo. That's pretty heavy. That's some heavy stuff. I think VRNA could break out again. I think it's getting its footing right now. I'm not sure how I feel about PT. I mean, really aggressive pre-market run, about 116%. This run was 116%, 112, 110. You know, and it's flying in all directions right now. Finding some support near this former breakout zone, and then, you know, instantly just running up. That was a 30% run up in just like 6 minutes. Don't really want to be on the wrong side of that one. VRNA kind of crashing again here. Potential big, really big support around $8. If we had a pull back to $8, I would probably jump on it. But I don't really think we'll get that. Looks like it's finding some support here, like around 10.5, like we were talking about before. These are both Chinese companies. One broke right to the upside, the other one pulled back. Actually, no, VRNA, sorry guys, VRNA is a UK company. Mix that one up with XRF. Let's quickly check out how XRF is doing. Looks like it's the one that's dipping really, really hard, like we were talking about it might do. But it's not, you know, ripping as hard as maybe one would want. All right, let's see what happens. I think there's a good chance we might keep dipping down here. If we entered in the 9 or maybe in the mid 8s, probably have like $150 position size. These little bounces are pretty aggressive. I mean, this is a 9% bounce right here. PT is also just very aggressively bouncing. I think this would have been probably the trade to do. Broke out of here on VRNA. I wasn't looking at VRNA at the time. I was kind of following PT a little too closely, or not too closely, but that's what I was mainly looking at. Buying a pullback to 10.5 where we have this clear support level, took about 3% risk, and then maybe even selling. I don't know when we would have sold, but somewhere into this area. I mean, this could have been a really, really nice trade today. I think that's probably the first really good trade we, you know, could have made. Big runner today. I don't think it's really over. We're 16 minutes into the market open, so the gap and go strategy, the momentum strategy is in full force still. Let's see if we can, you know, break two new highs here. VRNA looks like it's finding some support here. Again, we would want to give you a little bit more, probably enter around like 10.5 or something like that. just kind of watching the markets. PT and VRNA are still kind of my top picks right now. PT might have a red to green move. Usually happens within, you know, that 20 to the 30 points, sometimes even earlier. So we have, you know, morning pullback here. Now it's red on the day. But if it breaks 2.75, it could really rally. But, you know, big resistance right above that area. So not sure if we're going to get that. VRNA, again, a lot of focus here because I really like that. It's kind of forming some support in this area. Had a dip. Now it's kind of having that little pull to the upside. This is about a 14% bounce. Pretty aggressive, these moves. This one could really make a new high of day. Long-term chart, you know, breaking past some major resistance here already pre-market. Trying to get an entry here. Let's see around 10.5, see if we can do an entry. Now let's bring it to the upside, looking good. This is what we're looking for. Go ahead and remove that order for now. Just want to see how this one plays out. I would actually rather have it break to the upside first and then buy on a pullback at around $11. Let's see what we can get here. No, I didn't. No. We are not long this one yet. We would have been if I left that order in right now. We would be long. The reason I closed that order is because I'd rather see kind of a little bit more confirmation that we might have a move to the upside here. 5-minute chart looking really good. If we entered on that trade, it would be a $1,400 position size, $130. 130 shares at about 10.75 if we entered that trade, which we did not do. And look, good thing we didn't because this thing is already dipping. I really want to see a bit more support coming in here. If this price level holds, I would probably enter the trade. Really strong sell-off right now. Looks like $10 held very good. 4% bounce off of $10. Back at 10.5. Nice work, Emmanuel. Those are the two I'm looking at. I haven't traded any of them yet. All right, finally making moves back to the upside now. Want to be a little cautious with this because those dips to the downside are really, really aggressive with this one. I'm still looking at PT. Might try to break out from 2.3. See here. Big resistance above. If it doesn't break, if VRNA does not break this 10.5 area soon, I think it's going to start trying to, you know, break to the upside then. I mean, it's tested the lower end. Bulls kept buying. Now it's potentially going to be starting to retest the upper end of the limit. Selling has definitely slowed down. Volume in general has kind of just faded. Getting somewhat close to the 10 o'clock range. Gotta want to watch out a little bit on the 10 o'clock. Last time we bought it like 9.57, and it was kind of like closer to the end of the gap and go phase, and I think that was a buy that was probably a little too aggressive. Here we go, starting to make moves to the upside. It's trying. Remember, we always have the option not to trade. So far, this is our best month, and everything's getting more and more smooth. So we just gotta, you know, maintain. We already gave back kind of an unnecessarily large chunk of our profit yesterday. Here we go, a little dip to the downside. $10.5, can it hold? FCEL is still at 1.4, kind of having some issues breaking to the upside. PT seeing a lot of resistance at 2.33. You can see it right here. And VRNA, it's kind of an interesting pick. Again, major support. Around the 8.6 area, 8.5 area. Pretty hard to say what's going to happen. I mean, right now it's just kind of a messy pattern. There's really nothing specific about it. I think it would be pretty interesting to get in around 10.5, but there's a good chance that this thing could crack 10, and if it does, you don't want to be on that ship. All right, here we go. We got some movement, 10.3, 10.4, back at 10.3, back at 10.4. All right, some support coming in again. I think this thing around 4 o'clock and on could have a huge potential for a big secondary break to the upside. Let's see what happens. It might have a sell-off before then, shake out some of the weak hands, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I don't really feel like getting overly aggressive on this one. Not to mention, there's really no major catalyst on it that I've found. Here, it looks like the break is happening. 10.3, 10.2. There's cracks in support, boys. We're going down. If I was to enter this trade near $9, I think that could be a really nice bounce. Let's see how far this one dips. Woo, that was a fatty of a dip. That's the kind of stuff I was worried about. If we join the bid, probably do 150 shares. Let's see if it keeps going down here a little bit. I wouldn't be jumping on it just yet. Would like to see a bigger sign of a reversal probably. Not even really a full reversal, but at least a slowdown. 9.5 holding the area. Bounce isn't as strong as you'd probably want to bounce. PT also dipped all the way down to $2. We actually had a limit order at 203, I think it was. So we would have been long this trade actually if we left our limit order on that one. Be up about, yeah, we're up about like 6-7% right now on that one, but pretty risky as well. I'd be still careful with VRNA just because that bounce was really, really weak. We might even see a secondary bounce on this one. Up about 4 or 5%. Well, our watch list is looking good. Everything on our watch list is basically, you know, we're looking at the movers. I probably should have been more focused on VRNA. But then again, the problem with the FCEL is just their shares outstanding are just massive. And it was just not really the what I should have been trading or even looking at. I might actually trade PT if it continues to act as nicely as it is. And here's what I would be looking for PT. I would be looking for a continuation of this dip down here, and then maybe around 175, look for an entry. I'll be brisking maybe around the 160s. So like 800 shares would probably be plenty fine. Around 800 shares near there, near about 75 is probably what I would be looking for. Looks like we just had another streaming problem, guys. I really apologize. I don't know why we're having streaming issues out of nowhere land. It's like killing me. Every time I've Yeah, Andrew, that was a risky one. 7.5 wasn't a bad entry. It's just you don't know how much these things can collapse, and that's why I have not traded it yet. But that's how you learn. PT around 75, 175 is where I would look for a potential bounce on this one, and then VRNA I would look for a potential bounce maybe around like 8.6, 8.7. Yeah, I know what you mean. This thing is cracking all directions. I was really kind of skeptical about this 10.5 area, although at the same time, it made a higher low, but I don't know. It's just where's your stop loss at? You always want to identify your max risk ahead of time. Worst thing is one of these companies just goes into like, back to $1 or $4 and you're still holding it. So far, selling off pretty heavy, but maybe it could, it just needs to find some support before it, continues the rally. %10 dip. If it had another 10% dip, that would be right around the low 8s. All right. I'm going to see if we can get a fill here. Right now it's at 8.7. Yeah, it does. Sorry about that, man. Some buying activity coming in here. $8.62 was the low. I'm not really sure if we're going to get lower than that. move down my limit order a little bit. Yep, that's kind of what I'm thinking out. I'm also thinking about the 35 area. This thing could be rebound at any moment, and I wouldn't really want to buy it into that, but let's see what happens. 8.8 is kind of where we're seeing. It looks like it could be the bounce. I think it might be bouncing already. $8.9. PT is also selling off quite extensively, huh? All right, so this live stream is going a little bit longer. We're trading right now the pullbacks that you have after the big gap and go strategy. I love former breakout zones. That's usually what I look for. And you can see we're kind of near it right now. We broke out right here. This was kind of the low of the breakout around 8.5. We missed this entry. Could have been a little bit more aggressive, 8.65. If it does have one more pullback, we'll get this entry. Otherwise, I'm going to let this one sleep and dive into my weekend. Trying to pull back right now, 8.5 holding. We just had an entry here at 8.4. $8.2. Don't really want to risk anything under 8. We totally could have been more conservative with this one. Something like 8.1. Going past 7 right now. Want to watch out with this one. 7.84. Really want to be careful here. $7.75, 7.8. We don't want to risk more than all right, we're definitely past the risk tolerance on this one. 73.66. Looking for an exit here. Hope the stream doesn't cut out this time. Big support, 65. Want to sell into the 65 potentially. Let's see what happens with this bounce. Right now we're past our max stop, so it's a little bit not my favorite area. 53. Shoo, 7.5. Huge amount of selling. 7.5 looks to be the new support zone. Well, I guess that kind of wraps up my week a little bit. Not exactly the week that you want to run home and tell your parents about, but that just kind of happens sometimes. You win some, you lose some, and this was just not the one we win. Yeah, 10% loss. Trying to get out on this pop right here. I might have to shoot 7.3, guys. We are way lower than any kind of risk level I would ever want to take. We are out of this trade. $180 loss, biggest loss of the year. I don't know. I don't know what is wrong with me, guys. That is just not very good luck on my end. I held this position too long. I kind of fell in love with it in terms of just potential reversal. I don't know, guys. Not my week. I think that, okay, we're definitely right on the week, but we're still agreed on the month, but I think this is no longer our best month because of this trade. $180 loss, guys. Really, really not okay. Super disappointed in myself. I don't know why I held so long. I should have got out of the 7.5. Yeah, no, this was not ballsy. This was just poor risk management. I'm gonna have to really think about, think about my trading. Not a lot I can say about this one, guys. I mean, this is just, days like today happen, days like yesterday happen. I just should have gotten out quicker, and I probably also should have just ended the live stream when I wanted to end the live stream, which was like 10 minutes ago. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap the live stream there. I'm not really sure what to say right now. $200 loss. Oof, that's my biggest loss since we started this challenge. So, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in, man. Tomorrow, Monday, we need to be back in action. We need to really get back on the horse. This is kind of ridiculous. I can't let this happen. We're not trading like we should be trading. I don't know what's going on. I think it's just like having to deal with so much stuff over the holidays, I think really threw me off. Because Monday, Tuesday, I was super on my end game. And then the holidays started, and there was just so many holiday activities. I'm not blaming Christmas, but you can't trade when you're not fully focused, and I think that's what I did twice now. So it's really totally my fault. I'll see you guys later today. Thanks for tuning in, man. I gotta really think long and hard about this. $180 loss today, $140 loss yesterday. Woo! I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.